Cup of coffee, get settled in. All right, who's on the website, mikecameron.ca/live? Drop me a note, let me know. Steve, how are ya? Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. What is going on this fine Tuesday? Drop me a note in the comments. Let me know you are here. Better yet, go visit me at mikecameron.ca/live. Get yourself signed up. You're going to see a bunch of new things starting to pop up on the website over December and into the new year. Happy December. Holy crap. Hey, 2020 almost over. One more month. Welcome to Men Up with Mike. My name is Mike Cameron, and I will be your host as always. I am up there. I am sure it is up there. Anyways, this is the show where we talk all things leadership, personal development, and becoming that best version of you. And we do it all through the lens of what it means to be a dude, what it means to be a man. Yesterday, we talked about what does it mean to be a good man. Today, I thought I would chat a little bit about some lessons from 100-mile ultramarathon when preparation meets opportunity. And yeah, when you are going to embark on anything substantial, any large endeavor, any large journey, you absolutely need to be prepared. Hey, good morning, Carrie. How are you, my friend? I haven't seen you in a while. I am going to get all my things set up here so that I can talk to you guys no matter where you are, whether you're on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, or mikecameron.ca. And of course, you know my personal preference is mikecameron.ca. So let's talk a little bit about lessons from 100-mile ultramarathon. Carrie, have you run 100 miles? I can't remember if you have or not. Yeah, it's miles, not kilometers. So it's 161 kilometers. And so it is a very, 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 very long way. And I was reminded of that this past weekend with coronavirus, COVID-19. Most of the races that I was looking at doing in 2020 were canceled completely. So I had spent, this will be my third year at that 100-mile distance. Yeah, Carrie, my furthest distance is just 124 kilometers. I love it. I love it. Yeah, 100, man, it's nuts the distances we do, isn't it? It is absolutely insane. So again, I wanted to talk a little bit about this idea of when preparation meets opportunity, what happens. And when you are running anything over, well, really anything over 50 kilometers, anything over 10 kilometers, I mean, there is a fair bit of preparation that has to go into that. So on the weekend, what had happened was Sinister 7 had been canceled for 2020. They gave us the option to defer to 2021. The challenge now being, even in 2021, they're not entirely sure how many people they're going to be able to have on course. So they've had to cut down their field, and they ended up doing a lottery, a draw system to see who would be eligible to compete in 2021. Now, that may open up a little bit if the circumstances change and we can, mass gathering restrictions come off a little bit. But for now, Brian, the race director, is planning for reduced capacity because there's still a fairly good opportunity that we may still be in reduced capacity come July of 2021. And obviously, when they're putting together an event of this size, there is an awful lot of preparation that has to come together. So one of the things that came on the weekend was a note for me saying that I had been selected, that I had won the lottery. I get to run 100 miles in July down in the Crow's Nest Pass. And I got to tell you, I am super freaking pumped about that. It's been a little bit challenging, just in the headspace kind of way. It's been a bit of a mental shift to continue training, even though I don't have a race in front of me. And I know for a lot of runners, that can be a real struggle when there is no sort of finish line. How do we continue to run? How do we continue to train when there is no finish line per se in front of us? So that was a bit of a mental shift for me, but I knew at some point, this would come back. We would have races to do. I wanted to continue to keep up my fitness. But it just struck me this morning as I was getting prepared, how well I've done continuing to be prepared for that 100-mile race. I have continued to run anywhere from 3 to 5 hours every Saturday morning. I get out for my long run and continued to keep preparing, keep that preparation going in the event for the timing when those races come back online. So now that the race is back online, it just feels incredibly good to know that I have continued to prepare, even though the outcome was uncertain, even though we didn't know exactly what opportunities was going to present themselves. And it struck me how relevant that is, with my speaking career. Obviously, 2020 has been an absolute dong show. I had sold my business in December of 2019 with the intent of hitting the road, doing speaking full time. Obviously, March 6th was my last live speaking event, and then COVID hit and put the brakes on all the live events. So I've had to shift, I've had to pivot, I've had to move virtual. But what about the opportunity that's going to present itself as we start to see vaccines roll out, as we start to see life return to some version of normal? Sorry, I'm getting distracted over here. As we return to some version of normal, how much preparation have you done for that time when the world starts to open back up again? Are you just sitting back and waiting for that to happen? Or are you actively preparing your business, your life, your plans, so that when life does start to get back to normal, that you're ready to go, that you're prepared, that you can jump on and get active and capitalize on? There's obviously going to be a fair bit of pent-up demand for a lot of different things. When we can start to meet again, when those vaccines do roll out, there is going to be a fair bit of opportunity that presents itself. So the question for you today is, how are you preparing for that opportunity? Even though we don't know exactly what that's going to look like in a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months from now, but there are always things that we can do to prepare to remain relevant. For me, when it comes to running a 100-mile ultra marathon, it's about that consistency of continuing to train. And one of my favorite sayings is, the best way to get in shape is to stay in shape. So whether you run 100-mile ultra marathons, whether you're a salesperson in any given industry, whether you're an entrepreneur, what are you doing to stay fit through all of this? What are you doing to remain relevant? How have you set yourself up for that opportunity once the world starts to open up again, once we start to see those opportunities? Again, when we're talking about running a 100-mile ultra marathon, even for a guy like me who likes to act spontaneously, is not a huge planner, there is a fair amount of preparation that goes into that. For example, we had in fact booked our Airbnb almost a year in advance. So I booked our Airbnb in August of 2020 for July. I think it's the 10th, 11th, 12th of 2021. So knowing that there was a very good chance that I was going to get the opportunity to come back and race in 2021, also knowing that accommodations in Crow's Nest Pass on the Sinister 7 weekend get very, very difficult to find. I had the presence of mind, again, me, spontaneous non-planner, what the hell, had the presence of mind to actually book an Airbnb for July of 2021. So where are there opportunities that you can stay fit, that you can be prepared, that you can get yourself set up so that you are in a position that when life does come back to normal, that you're good to go, that you're set? Carrie, stay fit. Good point. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, again, the best way to get in shape is to stay in shape. We all know it. We all know it. Anne says she lost her optimism about 9 months ago. My pessimistic self says, I'll prepare when I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Sorry, I'm old and cranky, she says. And I totally get it. I totally get it. And again, you know, that's a choice for sure. But the more we can be prepared, the more we can prepare in advance, the less we have to actually see that light at the end of the tunnel, the better off we're going to be. And especially when we're talking in the context of business, you know, I've really had to shift how I do my business. I've worked hard to get good at the virtual stuff. Steve says he refuses to slow down. Racing in March. What race are you doing in March, Steve? I would love to know. But yeah, just staying on top of that preparation, staying relevant, staying top of mind. If you're a business, pivoting, looking at alternatives, where can you train a little bit differently? Again, for me, I didn't have races going throughout the course of the year, so I had to train a little bit differently. I had to get comfortable with the solo training. Oh, the drift. I don't know what the drift is, but I might have to look into that. What distance is that? And where is that? That's the other thing. I was hoping to do, we've been doing destination races for February, for my birthday, February 10th, each and every year. But I'm not sure that's going to happen this year. We'll have to have a look. You know, 2 years ago was Costa Rica. Last year was New Zealand. And yeah, and my glass is always half full. You know what? And I don't even know that it's a matter of glass half full. It's about creating opportunity, preparing in the calm for the coming of the storm, as I talk about. But the flip side of that is also preparing in the storm for the coming of the calm. Wyoming, 100-mile self-supported Arctic race. Oh, that's different. That's different. March. Maybe. I don't know. I might have to have a look at that. I'm not sure Arctic sounds really, really exciting though. I was thinking something a little more tropical. I enjoy those tropical destinations. Belize, Guatemala, Costa Rica, New Zealand, Australia, those kinds of things for me. Anyways, my friend, I'm going to keep it short today. My thought was, again, where can we set ourselves up? Where can we be prepared for that opportunity? You know, what's the saying? It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. So where in your life, in your business, in your fitness, where can you spend a little bit more time and effort just making sure that you are prepared for opportunity when it presents itself, honing those skills, whatever that may be for you. Again, if you're a business, taking the downtime, if you've got some downtime, taking the opportunity to implement some things that maybe you otherwise wouldn't have. Anyways, my friends, as always, continue to make beautiful shit happen and have yourself